back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel where I am finally going to do my December book haul. I planned to make this video about a week ago, but I've been really sick again. Second time in December that I've been really sick, so I don't know what's going on with December so far, but I'm not happy and I hope that I am well for the rest of it, which is Christmas time. The first two books I was given by Joe Fletcher Books, who are a publisher up in London. They gave me the PYRE and the ADVERSARIES. They are the publishers for David Hare, who is an amazing author. I absolutely loved his adult fantasy series, which is the Moontide Quartet, Mage's Blood, all of those books. You might remember me talking about them. I fell in love with them. Apparently he's got a YA series, which I did not know about, and the first one is the PYRE. The second one I believe only recently came out. It's called the ADVERSARIES, and I'm really excited to try this because I didn't know he had other books, so I'm just silly and didn't realise that, and now I'm gonna read them. This series sounds pretty cool. As far as I know, it's set in two timelines. The first one is 769, and in that timeline we see the evil Raja of Mandor predict his own death, and he orders that his 7 queens get burned alive on his funeral pyre with him. So that's pretty grim. And then we skip forward to 2010, which I guess is maybe when this book came out. I'm not sure. It came out quite a few years ago, I think. And in 2010 we follow 2 new characters, three new characters, Vikram, Amanjit and Deepika, and they meet each other for the first time and they realise that they're having visions of this horrible burning that happened in the 700s. So it sounds like kind of repeat of past cycles and ghosts coming back to haunt these 3 new characters. I'm very intrigued. It sounds like it's going to be fun. It definitely has different influences because David Hare lives in New Zealand, so he has loads of really interesting influence from Indian culture, from Asian culture, from different sides of the world basically, and I love his settings and his characters and the way that he writes, so I really think I'm going to love this series too. The next book was an amazing Christmas present, which I have already opened despite it not being Christmas, because I have no willpower and I cannot wait to open presents when they arrive. All of my friends and I from BookTube, like all of the people I know who do science fiction and fantasy reviews, every year we do a Secret Santa, and this year we did it again. So there were about 15 of us, I think, and Thomas from SFF 180 was amazing and he got me as his Secret Santa, so he sent me a gift. I sent James a gift from James Chatham, but basically we did this big Secret Santa and he sent me a present for Christmas, and the present that he sent me was all wrapped up lovely from Amazon, but I couldn't resist. I read that it was from him and I knew it was my Secret Santa and I was like, I'm gonna open it. So I did, and I'm so grateful. So thank you so much, Thomas, for getting this for me because I didn't know when I was going to get around to getting it, but it's beautiful, and it is this. Invisible Planets, which is an anthology of contemporary Chinese science fiction and fantasy short stories that have been translated by Ken Liu. I am so excited about this because I have not read very much Chinese science fiction and fantasy, but what I have read I've enjoyed, and I definitely want to read more and try out more authors, and translations are some of the few ways that we can get Chinese science fiction and fantasy over here, and Ken Liu is great at it, and I really think I'm gonna love this. So thank you, Thomas, so much for giving this to me. I'm really excited. Apparently this has Folding Beijing in it, which is a short story that I believe won a Hugo, so I'm really excited to read that one. Other than that, I don't know lots of the authors in here, but I'm so excited to discover them, and I cannot wait to review this for you guys and let you know if it's worth buying, which, spoiler alert, I reckon it probably is. We'll find out very soon though. But yes, very excited, so very grateful. Thank you, Thomas, so much. The next 2 books were both sent to me by the lovely Faber and Faber. They are these 2. They sent me an email saying that they would like to send me some bookish goodies for Christmas, and could I choose some sort of word or phrase to kind of give them an indication what book to send. So I think I chose An Armchair Adventure, and they sent me this one. It's written by Francis SPUFFORD and it's called Golden Hill. I believe this follows a young Englishman who comes to Manhattan in the 1740s, so fairly long time ago. It is fiction, and it's about him kind of going into the Manhattan lifestyle, trying to cash a load of money. He has thousands of pounds, I believe. This is New York in its infancy, a place where a young man with a fast tongue can invent himself afresh, fall in love, and find a world of trouble. So it definitely sounds interesting. I've never heard of it before, but I'm intrigued. So I'm definitely going to give this a go sometime early next year, I'd imagine. And the other book that they sent me is one I actually requested because I had heard about this on a couple of people's channels and it sounded really interesting. It's called Bone Gap and it's apparently magical realism. It's written by Laura Ruby, and I've heard this has been out in America for a while, I think. Like, people over there have definitely reviewed it. He'd been drawn here by the grass and the bees and the strange sensation that this was a magical place, that the bones of the world were a little looser here, double-jointed, twisting back on themselves, leaving spaces one could slip into and hide. It's about a young girl who goes missing and there's only one person in the town who knows what's actually happened to her, but this young lad who thinks he knows what happened to her, no one will listen to him except one person, the beekeeper's fiery daughter. Now on to two books that I bought for myself. The first one is a book I am currently reading. This is Jung Chang's second book that I will be reading, Empress Dowager CIXI. Jung Chang is the same author who wrote Wild Swans, which I read last month in November and I absolutely loved. So I definitely wanted to try out some more of her work. So I found out that she had another book, which was this one, and of course I wanted to try it out and see what I thought. It's about a fairly early period of Chinese history. I believe it's set in the 1850s. That's when we first follow this young lady who is destined to become the Empress, and it's a biography of her life. Only about 20% of the way through this, not a huge amount, but I am definitely liking it. Again, the writing style is super easy, so I'm really excited to sort of let you guys know what I think of it when I get to the end. And of course it has pictures, which is always a good thing. The next one I have is apparently a Hugo winning novel, and that is The Snow Queen by Joan de VINGE. I have heard pretty much nothing about this. I've seen it on one other person's channel recently, and that was Giselle's. It says, the winter colonists have ruled Tiamat for 150 years, slaughtering the gentle sea mers in trade for off-world wealth. But soon the gate to the galactic hegemony will close, Tiamat will be isolated, and the 150-year reign of the summer primitives will begin, unless Erin Hod, the ageless, corrupt Snow Queen, can commit a genocidal crime and destroy destiny. It sounds pretty dramatic. It goes on a lot more than that, but I don't want to give it away. I'm definitely intrigued, and I have to say I really like this crazy headdress that this woman is wearing. It's so crazy. Are they like seals? I mean, they look like little baby seals or something in her headdress. It's so crazy. The next things I have are all things that I got in my gift bag from Macmillan, the book break party. So I got these. This is a little notebook, an Alice in Wonderland inspired notebook. And this is The King of Christmas by Carol Ann Duffy, which is, I believe, a poem, maybe a collection of poems. Carol Ann Duffy is definitely a poet that I studied when I was in school, but this is a little illustrated Christmassy book with a poem inside. So I'm really excited to read that. It's super short, so it should not take me very long at all. From my last book haul, I showed you guys Pantomime by Laura Lamb, and this is the second one, which is called Shadowplay, also by Laura Lamb. This one comes out on the 15th of December, so pretty much now. It says it's for fans of The Night Circus, so I am very hopeful about this series, and I really want to read the first and the second back to back and just sort of immerse myself in a new circusy, pantomime-y inspired series, because I haven't read one for a while, and the last one I read was Caraval, which I loved, so it's going to be hard to beat that, but hopefully this series will be great and I'll love it. The next book I have is one that was sent to me by an independent author, and that is Bonnie M. Hennessy's Twisted, The Girl Who Uncovered Rumpelstiltskin's Name. It sounds like it's going to be a great story. Obviously it's a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, but I really like the sort of twisted nature of Rumpelstiltskin. The next one I have is this one, which is The Heart of What Was Lost. It's an ARC copy because this is not out until... this one comes out on the 3rd of January, so fairly soon. It's from Tad Williams and it's set in the same world as the Memory of Sorrow and Thorn series, and I believe it's a prequel or a sequel, one of those things. But you can read it without having read that series, I think. Yeah, it says it's the perfect introduction to the epic fantasy world of Ostenard. The Storm King has returned to death and the Norns must leave the lands of men, carrying the body of their dead lord and the last great artifact of their people, the heart of what was lost. They depart for the north. But a mortal army destined to end their race forever follows close behind. They will meet an abandoned fortress and clash in a battle so strange, so racked with dark enchantments, it threatens to destroy them all. So that is that one, and I'm really excited because I do really like Tad Williams. I prefer his Otherland series to the Memory of Sorrow and Thorn series so far, but I've only read the first Memory of Sorrow and Thorn and I've read all of Otherland, so it's not really a fair comparison. So yeah, really excited to have a new book from him coming out early next year. And the final book I have to show you is this one, which is A Promise of Fire, the first one in the Kingmaker Chronicles by Amanda Bouchet. This one simply says, Kingmaker, Soothsayer, Warrior, Mage. Kingdoms would rise and fall for her if she is ever found. In the icy north where magic is might, an all-powerful elite, ruthlessly guided by a glacial queen, has grown up to dominate the world. Now, rebellion is stirring in the magic-poor south where, for the first time in memory, a warlord has succeeded in uniting the tribal nations. This one comes out on the 12th of January, so expect a review fairly soon around that time, I'd imagine. Can't wait to give this a go. So that is that. That is everything that I have been sent or bought or gifted or all of those things, and it's been a really good little month. I'm very excited to sort of see what Christmas brings. I hope I get some books or some vouchers, maybe. My family's a little bit like, we don't want to buy you any books because we have no idea what books you've already got, which is a fair point. But even so, I love getting books, so I hope that I get a few. But I know that Eleanor and Mercedes and I are going to do a little gift exchange, so that should be fun. And I'm expecting my first Mothbox order, which is Mercedes' new subscription box thing, so that should be coming in too. Very exciting. It should be a good month. Very much looking forward to Christmas. Hopefully I can get some reading done. Hopefully I can read some of these books. Let me know if you've heard of them or if you want to read them or if there's any you want me to read. Thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.